In the early 1990s, Donald Trump, the symbol of American wealth and success, was on the verge of total collapse. His empire was crumbling. His casinos were losing money. His airline went bankrupt. He owed banks over $3 billion. And his personal debt was nearly $900 million. In an interview, he recounted a moment walking down a New York street, seeing a homeless person and thinking, "That man is $900 million richer than I am. How did the real estate king of New York fall into such a tragic situation? And more importantly, how did he manage to climb out of a financial hole that would have buried anyone else?" To understand this collapse, we need to go back to the 80s. America was in a boom, and no one represented that luxury and ambition more clearly than Donald Trump. He followed in his father's footsteps as a successful real estate developer. But he didn't want to just build housing for the middle class. He wanted to conquer Manhattan. And he did. Trump Tower rose as a sparkling icon. He bought casinos in Atlantic City, an airline, a football team, and giant yachts. His name was attached to everything. The Trump brand became synonymous with luxury, class, and winning. But there was a secret behind this empire. It was built on a massive amount of debt. He borrowed extremely recklessly to expand as fast as possible. And then the party ended. The US economy went into a recession in the early 90s. The real estate market froze. His casinos were drowning in losses. The banks came knocking for their money. Everything collapsed at once. The press said his time was up. This was the fated moment. Anyone else would have declared personal bankruptcy and disappeared. But Trump did the unthinkable. He used his biggest weakness and turned it into a weapon. He sat down at the negotiating table with the most powerful bankers and told them a brutal truth. If they forced him into bankruptcy, the Trump brand would become worthless, and they would lose almost all of their money. But if they gave him a chance, kept him and his brand alive, he could revive the empire and pay them back more. Essentially, he convinced the banks that he was too big to fail. And they agreed. That was a great financial escape. But the real turning point that brought him back into the American public eye came from a place no one expected: a reality TV show. In 2004, The Apprentice aired. The show reinvented his image. He was no longer a struggling 80s tycoon, but a powerful, decisive CEO whose catchphrase was, "You're fired." The show was a massive success, bringing the Trump brand into the living rooms of millions of American families every week and solidifying his image as a symbol of ultimate success. The business life of Donald Trump leaves an incredible lesson, whether you love him or hate him. That lesson is about the extraordinary power of branding and the art of storytelling. Donald Trump's greatest asset was never the buildings or the casinos. His greatest asset was the name Trump. He sold the banks the story of that brand's comeback to get out of debt. He sold TV audiences the story of a genius CEO. And later, he used that very skill to sell voters the story of an outsider who could make America great again. He understood that in the modern world, perception is sometimes more important than reality. The story you tell about yourself can become your most powerful weapon. My question for you is, what factor do you think is more important for success in today's world? Real professional skills, or the ability to build and sell a compelling story about yourself? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If this video helped you gain more insight, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to sponsor the next interesting knowledge video. Thanks for watching, wishing you all the best.